Andhra Pradesh, where shocking images have come out from a house. What actually was that entire structure is not known even now. So, in Andhra Pradesh's House of Cards, a mansion on a hilltop in Visakhapatnam is generating political tremors. The NDA government in Andhra Pradesh has accused the ousted YSRCP government of splurging 500 crore rupees of taxpayers' money on a complex meant to house Jagan Reddy's residence and camp office. Chandrababu Naidu's party has alleged that the opulent property built on Rushikonda Hill, a 9.88-acre sea-facing site, has toilets bigger than the size of houses meant for poor people. According to the ruling party, 95 crores was spent on levelling the land, including removing trees, 21 crores on beautification of surroundings, 33 crores for luxurious interiors, including 36 lakhs on a bathtub alone, 3.5 lakhs on a commode, 15 lakhs on one chandelier, and all of this came from the state exchequer. Jagan's party, however, says this was a government property meant for visiting dignitaries as and when Vizag became the new state capital and not for Jagan's personal use.
మొత్తం చూడండి, ఇంకా చాలా ఉన్నాను. ఇంకా ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు దానిపై నివేదిక అడిగారు, ఎంత ఖర్చు అయింది, దేనికి ఖర్చు పెట్టారు, మొత్తం డీటెయిల్స్ అడిగారు. ఇంకా రావాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. ఇదే కాదు, ఇలా చాలా కట్టినట్టున్నారు. అన్ని వివరాలు వచ్చిన తర్వాత ప్రజల ముందర పెడతాం.
We constructed in true spirit of better buildings to rule from Vizag, and that buildings should be used for any government purpose. But that buildings are belonging to government of AP, not the buildings are not for Jagan Reddy or YSRCP. That buildings what actually constructed and beautifully with very good architecture in true and good spirit for the government of AP. So here onwards they can be used for anything. So it is their choice for the better purpose of whenever President of India comes or Prime Minister will come. Such good buildings are not available in Vizag. That is true spirit of and the benefit of Andhra Pradesh only we did.
All right, so is Jagan Reddy going to face an investigation, and if yes, then what is the crime committed exactly? Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, continues with us. We are joined by national spokesperson of TDP, Padmaja Reddy, Konda Rajiv Gandhi, spokesperson of the YSRCP, and Dr. Sumansi Raman, political analyst. Mr. Reddy, I'm going to start with you. The first argument is it's not a crime to make a building. You may say it is, very luxurious, it is a vanity, but what is the crime? You're saying you're going to investigate Jagan Reddy. What's the crime?
See, the basic crime is the exorbitant spending of 500 crores in a building which has only 12 bedrooms. What is the necessity to spend 500 crores in a situation where the state is dealing under huge debts? The same Jagan Reddy's government used to go to the RBI every week to take loans of 3,000 crore, 4,000 crore, and today the state is under a huge debt of 12 lakh crore. So what is the necessity to spend 500 crore on a palace on Rushikonda? Did people demand for it? You could have spent the same money on Polavaram project or any other irrigation project or any other structure which is of public use. On one hand, you have completely stalled all kinds of developmental works. You have completely stalled the capital city of Amaravati and Polavaram, and here you spend 500 crores on your own luxuries. And today it has become a big joke when the YSRCP leaders are saying that this guest house is for international dignitaries. I don't really understand this, Padmaja. I mean, does international dignitaries, do they require a bathtub of 40 lakh? Do they require a spa worth crores of rupees? Do international dignitaries demand for a bathtub which is around 40 lakh, a commode of around 12 lakh rupees? Who gave the mandate? The people
Konda Rajiv Gandhi, is this a cover-up now that your splurge has been uncovered?
No, actually, first of all, a warm good evening to one and all who have participated in the debate. Well, coming to the point, in your intro, the leader of the present government, of course, is a minister in the cabinet, Mr. Nara Lokesh, stated that we have asked the officials to submit the details or amounts what have spent, and we have to get the details yet, and then I will speak on that. This is the statement given by the minister of the cabinet of present government, and it is shocking for me, the spokesperson of TDP telling the details and with prices what the come out. So Patabi Garu, I've been calm until you have spoken. Please give me my enough time. Your minister, your cabinet minister saying that we asked officials to get the details, but how could you get the details before your cabinet minister? Do you have any superior powers than him?
Mr. Pomireddy. Okay, let him respond. Mr. Pomireddy, which hand?
Padmaja, I think my friend failed to understand what Mr. Lokesh had said. Mr. Lokesh had said that we are digging deeper into this. These are only the preliminary facts. The bathtub of 40 lakh, the commode of 12 lakh, these are only preliminary facts. We have to even dig in further. We don't know what will come out in future.
And Mr. Gandhi, address the issue first of all. Are you doing a cover up after this splurge has been uncovered? Address the issue.
I'm addressing the issue. See, if you are talking about the amount spent on the buildings, either it is completely saying they are government buildings, it is a government property, nowhere connected with the Jagan Reddy sir. But before that, I'm asking one single point question.
I have with me a newspaper report. Hold on a second. I have a newspaper report from the 21st of November 2023 which says the committee of officers constituted by the Andhra Pradesh government to scout for a place for housing the Chief Minister's camp office in Visakhapatnam has identified the newly constructed resort buildings of the AP Tourism Department atop Rushikonda as suitable. So this was the Chief Minister's camp office.
It is a news which came in a newspaper. We cannot simply feel newspaper as a government order. It is a news which it may be irrelevant. It may be irrelevant. See, whatever comes in the newspaper is not exactly the same thing, right? Newspapers may write today's newspaper is tomorrow's something paper. So we cannot
what
simply
does that even mean? The committee of officers which was constituted by your government
what it is actually
identified this. The committee of officers identified this.
See, committee. There are 3 IAS officers of a committee which identified these buildings under tourism department as a government property which can be utilized by Chief Minister or the Governor or the Prime Minister or the President of India.
So you're saying this was to be utilized by the Chief Minister. Now my question is, if it was to be utilized by the Chief Minister, what is a chandelier?
Padmaja, please let me complete one thing.
Yeah.
You're talking about the then Chief Minister, right? Let me tell you about the 2014 to 19 tenure, the then Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, amount spent on the renovations. I will list out you. With the government order, we have the list. With the list, you have to, the TDP has to answer about this. See, from 2014 to 19, CM camp office H block spent 15 crores for renovation.
One at a time, yes.
6 crores for renovation. Lakeview guest house for 10 crores. Maduragoda guest house for 5 crores. Irrigation guest house for 45 crores and crores of bills for Novotel and Park Hyatt and travelling expense of 120 crores. Stone breaking ceremony of Amaravati is 250 crores and only capital designs plans about 300 crores. I'm asking single point question. Whenever Babu as a CM came to Vizag, why he used to stay in Novotel? Now this so-called buildings have much more better facilities than Novotel. What is the need for Babu to stay in Novotel? And why not other people?
Respond, Mr. Pomareddy.
Should not stay
Sanju
in such
Verma, the
buildings.
question is of the TDP of what they did when they were in government. They need to respond. Yes. Mr. Pomareddy, respond.
Padmaja, if we talk about the travel expenses of Jagan Reddy and how much he had spent on his special
don't
flights
do what
to
about
London,
He is claiming that you, when you were in government, TDP when it was in government, spent so much on renovation.
Okay. Say what action did they take? If they had evidences with them, they were in power for 5 years. What were you doing? Sleeping? Are you sleeping for 5 years? You had power in your hand. You could have taken action against us. These are all baseless allegations, Padmaja. Whatever Rajin is talking is baseless. They were in power for 5 years and they were not able to take action on a single issue. And today, just to cover up what they have done today on Rushikonda, they are making these baseless allegations.
Mr. Gandhi.
Today, the question is very straight. The question is very straight. What is the purpose? It is only for...
Your point has been taken, and let me tell now. Let me speak out. Please don't stop my words, okay? Let me tell now. I have your point taken. Your point is taken. You are asking why did the action is not taken yet. You are all aware Babu's fiber grid scheme, you are all aware about skill development scam and many other scams where Babu and your minister put behind bars but you say that, no, this government is putting pressures and our leaders into behind the bars. And now you are talking, why did you file a case? And why didn't you accept when the cases are filed? So you are a double-edged knife word to what you are speaking. So definitely, this is not a lavish thing or the Jagan Reddy sir personal scheme. It is only meant for government property. If you all say or quote this as a Jagan Palace, come and go and give the papers and the documents of the particular land
Okay.
to the Jagan.
Sanju Verma, the morality can be questioned, but now the YSRCP is saying the TDP also did it when they were in government. That time nobody had a problem. Now you are going after Jagan Reddy. Just because he may have splurged a little bit.
You know, Padmaja, the TDP spokesperson is obviously doing a good job of rebutting what the YSRCP panelist has to say. I just want your audience to know one thing, that you initially mentioned in your introduction that this 500 crore mansion built atop a hill facing, water bodies, this is to the tune of 9.88 acres. And I found out that actually this hilltop is called Heritage Hilltop. And the entire area that was supposed to be redeveloped was worth 61 acres. And these 61 acres के लिए विशाखापट्टनम टाउन प्लानिंग अथॉरिटी से परमिशन ली गई थी, टूरिज्म डिपार्टमेंट से परमिशन ली गई थी, एनवायरनमेंट मिनिस्ट्री से परमिशन ली गई थी, that the 61 acres will be redeveloped by the Jagan Mohan Reddy admin only for building flats and amenities for poorer sections of the society. And for that, Jagan Mohan Reddy had also sanctioned 357 crores. I want to know, instead of building homes for the poor and the marginalized on this 61 acre worth of land, how is it that Jagan Mohan Reddy ended up building a mansion for himself worth 500 crores on 9.88 acres? Point number one. And point number two is that the local dailies in Andhra Pradesh say that the then tourism minister R.K. Roja, who used to report into Jagan Mohan Reddy, said that he was against this. Kannan Babu, a senior IAS officer who was monitoring this mansion construction to the tune of 500 crores, he has also said that he was against this opulence, but Jagan Mohan Reddy did not listen. His own tourism minister R.K. Roja, who was tourism minister till a few months back, has called out the bluff of Jagan Mohan Reddy. So I want to ask the YSRCP panelists, are you denying the statements made by Kannan Babu, your IAS officer? Are you denying the statements made by your ex-tourism minister R.K. Roja, who has actually put Jagan Mohan Reddy in the dock?
Okay, Suman Siraman, clearly the purpose of that area was something else, and then something else entirely was done.
Padmaja, first of all, we need the documents from the APTDC to allege any kind of scam. Are we saying that this was opulent and this was not necessary? Yes, probably it was not necessary, but then that's a subjective thing. Every government has spent crores of public money on fancy stuff for themselves. KCR, I remember in Telangana on Pragati Bhavan, I think at one RTI said that they spent 50 crores on renovating and so on. So look, this, first of all, there are two things. Has there been an illegality committed? Or is it just to throw some mud on Jagan and say that he has blown up public money in a big way on this project? So if we want to allege that something illegal has been done, then you need the documents to establish that. You need the documents to say that procedures were violated, permissions were not obtained, the purpose of use was changed without the appropriate sanctions from the government. So all of those are required. Right now, all we have is, bathtub is 35 lakh, this one is commode is 12 lakh, which is opulent, which is obscene. But to me, that does not constitute an illegality, because at the end of the day, it still belongs to the government. And, for the TDP to throw stones at YSRCP is a bit rich. I mean, they're staying in a glass house and they're also throwing stones because there's enough more which can come back at them.
Sanju Verma.
Yes, Suman Siraman made an interesting point. How do we know 500 crores has been spent? How do we know 33 crores was spent on inner fittings? How do we know 95 crores was spent on leveling of the land? Mr. Suman Siraman, you mentioned about Andhra Pradesh Tourism Development Corporation, and AP TDC has said that way back in 2021, they had given an estimate to Jagan Mohan Reddy that this opulence that he was talking about would cost the public exchequer 452 crore rupees. This is there in public documentation, in the public domain. 452 crore ka estimate diya gaya tha. He ended up splurging 500 crores. He has spent taxpayers' money.
What is the illegality? She is not understanding the question. What is the illegality you are alleging? Are you saying environment clearance not obtained, or sanctions where due process was not followed, bribes were paid? You have to establish something, right?
But that will be investigated. That is what the government is saying. That here is a splurge. We are going to investigate it. Let Mr. Komareddy. Mr. Komareddy.
That
Mr.
will be investigated.
First investigate, then allege. Mr. Komareddy.
Mr. Raman, for your knowledge, this project does not have the required environmental clearances. This is the matter which is pending before the court. This matter is sub judice. They have not obtained the required clearances. This structure itself, as of now, stands illegal. The local leaders, local public are fighting against these structures. So that is point number one. And point number two is, we should also understand the fact that Jagan Reddy is used to living in palaces. Look at the palace he has in Bangalore. He has a palace in 28 acres. 28 acres, can you believe? A residence in 28 acres with 400 rooms. He has a palace in Hyderabad called the Lotus Pond Palace. He has a palace in Idupalappai and Kadapa. He has a palace in Tadepalli. Jagan Reddy is used to living in palaces. So he wanted one more palace on Rushikonda, for which he had violated all kinds of environmental norms, and he had splurged 500 crores of public money.
Okay, clearances have been violated. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, are you open to an investigation?
One thing, if there is an objections from High Court or some other court, definitely they are in the power, they can take action. See, whoever it may be in the power, nobody has a power to bypass the judicial's order. Definitely, as of now, there were no objections from the judicial end. If at all there is an objection from judicial end, and if at all we have bypassed, they are in the government, they can take any action, and we are very ready to face. But simply, these are all baseless allegations from Komareddy Garu, number one. Number two, he is simply talking about the palaces and all. Even I can say the current Chief Minister's wife, Bhuvaneshwari Garu, said that if she sells just 2% of shares, of her business shares, she can earn 600 crores. So even they are also very rich, and they are also from palaces. I can do that. See, simply alligating or character assassination is not the point over here.
Absolutely. It's not about character assassination. You may say, and technically you may talk about what is the criminal act here. That is for the government to investigate and let everything be out there in the public. But on the morality of it, it doesn't become okay to say, oh, Chandrababu Naidu spent this much, KCR spent this much. When you are spending public money, please be a little more mindful. You cannot simply get away by saying it was a little opulent. It was a criminal splurge, a criminal wastage. Thanks, gentlemen. Sanju Verma for joining me.